guest this afternoon is Michelle Tulloch-Reid, Global Jamaica Diaspora Council member, Northeast USA. Good afternoon. How are you, Michelle?
Good afternoon, Mr. Darby. I am wonderful. I'm happy. I'm good. And good afternoon to your listening audience as well.
Oh, it's great to have you. Now we should spend a few minutes just learning a bit about you. I wonder where in Jamaica you are from. I hope it's Trelawney, because if you're not from Trelawney, you're not from a good parish.
Oh, I'm from Kingston.
You're Kingston. I see what you mean. Although the whole of us migrate from country to Kingston, and we can't go back to country because, you know about this visa business and green card and all, and so and they soon
But
deport
to
some
be
of
fair,
us.
my mom and dad is from Montego Bay.
Oh, from Montego Bay. Okay.
Mhm.
So which
Yes.
school you attended?
Holy Child.
Holy Childhood. Oh.
Yes.
And when you left Jamaica?
35 years ago.
No, man, it's
So
like
that was
that.
in 1990. Yep.
Really? What a thing. And your
Yes.
whole family went, or you just went alone?
I came first to follow by my mom and brother and so forth. And I do have one other brother that is still in Jamaica. His name is Sean Davis. So I want to give a shout out to him as
Sean
well.
Davis, where's he living
Yes.
in Jamaica?
He's also in Kingston.
In Kingston.
Yes.
No, we hear about this diaspora, and it's a big
Hmm.
word, suppose. I don't think sometimes we put a feel to it or understand what it is all about. No, you are part of that movement, and you've been doing, not only you, but quite a number of them have been doing quite a bit for Jamaica. I know one gentleman, he gave this program over $7 million of scholarship to the university. Tell us about the work that your group has been doing for Jamaica, because you have not forgotten this little island.
I can't. I don't think I ever will. Even before I had this position, I was always giving back to my high
Yes.
school. I give scholarships out every year, and I was actually in Jamaica in May. That was last month, doing
And
the
I didn't
same
see
thing.
you?
No, but I'll be there in another 2 weeks, so hopefully I
Yes.
can see you there. Yes. And while I was there, we also gave out scholarship to Holy Child. But for this movement, we were focused on because I have a love for the younger children and the
Yes.
elderly. So that's where my focus is. And then
Mhm.
we started hearing about this digital divide, and we wanted to see what we can do in all the parishes. So we were not concentrating on Kingston, where I'm from, but for
Mhm.
all the parishes. And so we started out last year by donating laptops to 17 schools last year.
Where,
Um,
how many schools the share maps is good?
yes, yes,
How-
17 schools. And yes,
17
definitely.
schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
yes.
that is from donations from my church, Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church, and just
Ah, you
Abington
better
Widows
say good
Church.
afternoon to them and tell me where the church is.
It's in Philadelphia as well,
Mhm.
2500 West Cheltenham Avenue, Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church.
Yes.
Yes, and they were very instrumental in giving me Dell computers so I could bless the children in Jamaica. And we did it because my church also does work with Filippo Baptist Church in Spanish Town.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where I'll be in 2 weeks because we're doing some additional work with them through my church. But
Mhm.
nevertheless, so we did that. But then while I was there last year, I was talking to the teachers and the principals. And
Yes.
just like here in the USA, how teachers go into their pocket and buy school supplies, we decided that we were going to help them out. So when I was there 2 weeks ago, we gave to 19 schools not only laptops, but we gave school supplies, uniforms, sneakers and shoes. So we did that a couple weeks ago. So that has always been one of the things that I am proud of. The other thing I
And
must say,
before you continue, I do hope that when you give, and you
yes,
could be living in the States and a business with nobody out here, when you give, encourage them to, you know, remember the kindness given to you and to do likewise to others.
hmm
Because
yeah,
love is something I believe we should make it become like COVID. spread like wildfire. So we need
I
to
love
spread
that.
that love.
I love that way to look at it. Yes,
Yes, yes.
I might have to plagiarize that saying.
Ah, no,
Yeah.
let me see. We have still have some time left before we go for the break. So that is
Okay.
great to hear that you're doing all this work, but that's quite a lot of school. It must take a lot of work. What else? Tell me some of the other things that you have been doing, your
Okay.
diaspora.
All right. So I believe in education. And so I have been hosting a whole lot of forums. Any issue somebody brings to my attention, I have a
Yes.
forum on it. So I remember I was actually one of the first ones I had, I was actually in the supermarket and I was just in the line and this
Hmm.
Jamaican grandmother was talking to me about AI
Yes.
and she doesn't like AI and all that thing. And I said to her, AI is not going anywhere, so we might as well embrace it. And so I decided to call a couple friends and we put
Yes.
together an AI forum. And she came and she learned. And
And
then a
when you
couple
say
weeks,
AI, you're talking about, they say it's what artificial intelligence. I said, no, it's not artificial. It's assimilated intelligence. There's nothing artificial about it because it's coming from the people.
yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. I like the way you think,
Yes.
Mr. Derby. I do like that. Yes.
Hmm.
So then we talk. Health is always a major issue. So we
Hmm.
always have forums on education where your health is concerned. The conference that I just ended with, we had not only on your wellness but also on the various cancers, and that was really
Yeah.
well done, especially because prostate cancer is a problem in Jamaica
So you
for
come here to
cultural
come
reasons.
drop words for me. So since you start, let me just warn the rest of man them. Wanna sit down there, eh? Sit down there, but you're not afraid to go to a doctor, eh? Well, guess what? If you think the pain of having prostate cancer nice, you run go doctor right now. Go and talk your talk, man, because the women I must admit, they seem to accept it, but education about your health, oh, it is vital. We fix up the car, as we hear a funny sound, we carry it to the
Hmm.
garage. But with the body, we
Hmm.
just ignore it.
Yes, we do. And and then with former President Biden having been diagnosed with prostate cancer is
Yes.
also something here that's been talked about. And my church is very instrumental in that as well, where we actually have the kit, the men take the kit, do what they have to do, bring it back to the church, and we send it out for them. So prostate
Okay.
cancer, yeah, it's something that we are really pushing the envelope on.
Mhm.
Um, we will immigration, that's a touchy subject right now.
Ta-da-dum,
Um,
ta-da-dum. Yes, ma'am. But I've been with my bit here and I've been listening to what you guys have been saying in your
mhm,
diaspora group. And you notice that
mhm,
I've shared some of the information from our consultant openly. So I hope they are sharing it with persons
mhm.
there in the United States because we need to share the information.
Oh, absolutely. So we had two very, very amazing attorneys that spoke at the conference 2 weeks
Yes,
ago. And what we realized is that we didn't have enough time for all the questions. So we're actually bringing them back. So they'll be
yes.
having another forum on July 16th. But because of what happened over the weekend with the birthright situation, we now have to add that to part of the conversation
Mm.
that will be had on the 16th as
Just a
well.
little bit to remind our listeners about the birthright so we all can understand what is this birthright issue.
So normally, once if you're illegal and your child is born in the U.S., they would automatically become a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
Now that has changed a little bit in the sense that we don't know. The courts gave the okay on Friday, so we want to make sure you know exactly what that means for your
Yes.
child.
But that
Um,
doesn't mean that all states have accepted it. I got the impression that it just gave the judge is the
Absolutely. But
yeah.
also, we want to talk about because the law also states that only those two states, particularly that has a case has any right to the situation. So I live in
Mhm.
Philadelphia. We don't have anything in the courts. So then it behooves me to reach
Yeah.
out to my representatives and say, what are we doing? Are we bringing a lawsuit so we can be on that list as well? So
Mhm.
that is something I would love. The attorneys will be coming on. They will be talking about that. So we have a
Well,
little bit more information on that.
you can throw this one at the lawyers. Where you
Okay.
have no father, you probably just have your mother. You were born in the
Mm-hmm.
United States. Your mother
Mm-hmm.
died at childbirth. So
Mm-hmm.
your mother's a Jamaican. I wonder how easy it is for you, who will file for you to get your Jamaican citizenship. So what we'll do, you'll have no status. Interesting days are ahead. We saw that go. We're going to go for the break and then we come back on. That will be a very interesting one. I'd love to hear how that goes. When the parents die and the
Mm-hmm.
child is born after, what do you do in the United States? Do you
Mm-hmm.
force another country to accept that
Mm-hmm.
child as a citizen?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting days are ahead. One of the lawyers had put forward that in the court. I
Well,
won.
I'm hoping you can come on and ask that question directly. I'll send you the information.
Apparently, you believe think that I'm a lawyer.
No, no, no. I'm
I'm
telling
giving
you,
you
you can
trouble.
ask
I'm
the
giving you
lawyer.
no, I'm giving you trouble because I know that's a sticky one.
It is, it is,
I
it
tell
is.
you what, Michelle, yes, we are
Yes.
talking to Michelle Tulloch-Reid from the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, Northeast USA. And we have to keep in touch with them. They are keeping in touch with us. And we must know what they are doing because they are really helping Jamaica, land we love, the little country, in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, where we say, well, we're little, but we tell our. Stay with us, going to go for a little break. This is Spot On with Vernon Derby. So come back. Don't move. Welcome back. You're listening to Spot On with Vernon Derby coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. Of course, you don't know Jamaica, really? Come on. That little country which we punch more than our weight. Yes, we're coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, right in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, where we say, well, we little, but we tallow. And of course, my very special guest is Michelle Tulloch-Reid, member of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council at Northeast USA. So back with you, Michelle. Tell me more. I'm sure you have done a lot more, much more than you have told me so far. We want the nation to know and the world to know because I'm one who believe they say we do good, you must tell nobody. No, so we do good, you must share it, and let the world know so that it becomes a style and as country people say fashion, so we all follow.
Yes. Okay. Thank you again. One of the other things that I'm very proud of, when
Hmm.
you think of diasporas, there are certain names that automatically comes to mind. And so
Yes.
when I started in this position, I created what's called a cozy chat. And what I did for each of the 14 states, I looked for
Hmm.
individuals, Jamaicans, diasporans, that are doing the work in the community and nobody knows who they are. And so
I
I,
see.
yeah, and so I brought them on to tell us about so other people can get involved, we can
Hmm.
collaborate and promote them. And that was extremely, extremely positive. So I'm really proud about that. But as you know, the conference took up most of my last 6 months. I was focused on that, so I didn't get an opportunity. But one of the other good things that came
I
out
need
of
you
it,
need to tell us about that conference. Tell us about it, how it went, how successful. I know it was successful, so I just just how successful it was.
it was extremely
Mm,
successful. In the sense that what I started out doing was in December, I did a survey and asked the diasporans, if we had a conference here, what would you like to talk about? And
yes,
that's how I structure it because I didn't want to tell them what I want to talk about. I wanted you to talk to me, tell me what you want. And from
yes.
that, Mr. Derby, there was 5 pillars. They want to talk about education, but from an
Hmm.
assimilation perspective. So what we have in that section was individuals that were born, children that was born in Jamaica, and then they migrated. And then we have those who parents are Jamaican, live here, and how does that assimilation work. And Mr. Darby, I must say that was very interesting because the children that came here talk about the struggles that they had,
Mhm. Mhm.
because you're taught different, you look different. And so if it wasn't for the strong Jamaican upbringing and the mentorship, they would have fallen by the wayside. But what was also interesting is the young lady specifically who, her parents are Jamaican, but she was born here. She said she felt like an imposter because she was not born in Jamaica. And we were like, oh, no,
Really?
no, no. Yes. And we put
Yes.
our loving arms around her and said, no, 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 you are one of us. But she said she felt that way because she wasn't born on the island. So we always have to make sure we listen to our young people so
Yeah.
we can hear about how they feel about
By
this.
the way,
Because
I hope you
yeah,
encourage her to get her citizenship because she can enjoy dual citizenship.
yes, actually, this was a great thing about it. Jamani Dunn from the University of the West Indies was also
Yes.
here, and he talked about that exchange program, having Jamaican diasporans come to the University of the West Indies to
Yes.
learn more about their heritage and culture. So yes, and that was a very powerful session.
But if you
And
want
I,
to know, you have to go like Chilani man at the bush Manchester, you go eat your roast yam and saltfish. I don't think you find any crane crane again. You learn about how people secure the meat on the crane. And listen, I'd love to see them build a village in Jamaica, which take you back, say, 40, 50 years ago, with touch
Mhm,
house and everything. You go there,
mhm.
you get your big pot of food and your Dutch pot. I think people would love that.
Yes. Yeah, and then you would learn to embrace your culture because
Yeah.
if you find young people are not feeling as connected as we want them to be, so therefore we have to do our part. That's one of the reasons why Barbara Wilson has for the last maybe 50 or 40, 50 years what we call a Caribbean festival here in Philadelphia. And so
Yes.
when you go, you hear from all the Jamaicans, no matter where in the world they are, to come in and
Hmm.
perform. There is Jamaican food everywhere. There is poetry. There is Masran, Miss Lou, all of that being shared in that space. So people know when I talk about Jamaica, it's not
Yeah.
only about my food and the reggae music. There's so much more to us.
One of these
So
days I
I'm
become do
really,
one of Miss Lou's poem. Locks me child, I want to tell you something when he come put him bank aside of me, you see? Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I'll have to do that for you one of these days.
oh, that
I
would be
just give
lovely.
I just giving you trouble.
No, but we could have you do that,
And I must tell you
and
that I also work with Masran. Yes, I was a
you did.
fortnight of work. Yes, man, in National Pantomime.
Wow. You see, you would fit right in. We have to talk off air because I have to
Yeah,
get you here to do that. So we
yeah,
have to. And then one of the other things that we talk about immigration that was well done.
yes,
The health section that was done. One of the things I'm extremely proud of was I work in the criminal field.
right.
And I've always wanted to have Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Philadelphia police officers coming together, community policing, having a conversation, and we made it happen. So I'm really proud of that. So we had the men and women from Jamaica Constabulary Force and the
Mhm.
Philadelphia police as well, with
Right.
talking about community policing because we don't believe US have the answers because we still have problems here. We don't
I'm
believe
quite aware of
Jamaica.
that one. And
We
by the
don't
way, I'm
believe
very
Jamaica
close
has
to
the
I'm
answer.
very close to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I'm very close with the commissioner and all of them.
Yeah,
So
they were, yes. That
and I
session
must tell you,
ended
the
up being
police force in Jamaica, it is changing by the day.
okay.
It's a much better force today. It's rough out here,
Hmm.
but they have done quite a bit, and that crime, well, murder especially, has dropped significantly. But crime is not
Hmm.
just a police matter; it's a people matter. And if you have
It
police
is.
on every corner, well, we will be afraid to commit the crime. If you have
Hmm.
evil in your mind, it is
Hmm.
there. That is what we need to
Yes,
get rid of.
yes. And the police here was so moved by the experience that
Yes.
they, I don't know if maybe one day we can have the police from here go to Jamaica and experience that, and then the Jamaican police can come to the US. And I don't know,
Mhm.
that's what's in my head, but I would have to, work that out. But they enjoyed that exchange
Something crossed
and
my
just to
mind, but
learn.
I will not say it on air. Things have calmed down a bit. Can you imagine the 80s? You take them police and carry them to certain area, they would have run. I'm being terrible. Yes, Michelle, you continue.
Right. So that's one of the things.
Yes,
We also had, we have to talk about commerce, right? And
right.
so we had
And that
Dave
is important.
Mullins. Yeah, oh yes, it is. We had Dave Mullins here, and we had Shane Angus, right, speaking, and that was also very, very
Mhm.
interesting because after we had Dave came on, he was my keynote speaker for Saturday. He came
Right.
on at 9:30
Hmm.
and people had questions for him, and I really want to tell him thank you. He stayed until 5:30 just answering people's questions,
Hmm.
and he was very clear, and the average person could understand what he was talking about. And they I've gotten email, and I've emailed him because people's like, when are you going public? We want to get involved. And then we had Shane talk about the land that in Jamaica and how people are buying out Jamaica, and people talk about the struggle. So what I would love to do next
Hmm.
is, he was talking about St. Thomas, and then all the other parishes that was at the conference start shouting about their parish. What about my parish? What about my parish? So what I would have loved to have happened is if I knew exactly where the land was in Jamaica, have
Well, I
somebody
tell you
come
something. On
on.
this program, we have a realtor who comes on, and that uh, I can put you in link with almost everybody. Because this
Okay.
program, we talk to all the professionals. In St. Thomas, for example, they have just built
Mhm,
a center there. And the
mhm,
highway, let me tell you, I was going to say can fly, but those who fly shall surely crash. So don't take it
mhm,
easy on the roads. But you can get from Kingston to St. Thomas in no time. Beautiful
mhm.
roads. And
Yes,
and
great.
real estate value there, they're jumping
Mhm,
because of the accessibility. So
mhm. Yes, but I
definitely
need more. Yes, we have to talk again because if I
right.
could do a forum to walk people through the process, I would really appreciate that.
Mhm.
So we have so many things to talk about now, Mr. Darby, after this is done.
Yes.
And the last but not
I tell you
least
what I could
is,
do is that now when we have the realtor coming on, we'll
mhm,
probably let you know so that persons can probably listen while he's
yes,
on. Mhm.
yes, good. I would appreciate that.
Right.
The other thing that I'm also proud of was that Blaine Stoddard came on and he made it personal about Hope Gardens. Have you
Mhm.
all been to Hope Gardens as a child? Everybody's like, yeah, yeah. Well, Hope Gardens need your help because they're
Yes.
doing this whole program. What he didn't expect was that people were on the spot ready to give a check, but he wasn't ready yet because there's
Yes,
some
yes.
stuff that he has to work out with them. So he told them, I'll give you my number, you contact me. But you know what
Mhm.
happened? When people have check like that, you want it right away. Because when
Yes,
they don't,
yes, yes, yes.
so that was a missed opportunity. And then last but not least, I was having a conversation because somebody was asking me about the health situation in Jamaica. And I said, Jamaica actually has this thing called a doctor clinic through
Right.
Mr. Cephas. And I was
Mhm.
talking to one person about it, and then the other ladies heard, and they're like, Michelle, can you tell me how to do that? They would love to do that. So I need to call Courtney Cephas and see if he can make arrangement because
And
I
by the way,
have
every
all of
time you
these.
mention something, every one of those
Yeah.
people have been in touch with the minister, touch with the public relations officer who used to work with me at Jamaica Cultural Development Commission. So
Mhm.
I that's why I'm a part of you all, I'm just letting you know that I'm in touch with everybody. So I can
Thank
make the
you so
contacts
much.
and we can have them even talk with you on this program. That is something we're going
Mhm.
to look at in the future because we're trying to reach out
Thank
to
you.
Jamaicans in the
Yes,
diaspora.
yes. And I was really impressed. I'm very happy about the conference because it brought people from all over just to
Yes.
come. I limit the amount of in person because we have the eye situation, so I didn't want too much persons in one place. So I made sure it was X amount in the room, and I made sure the rest was
Yeah.
streamed so people
Yes.
could
You
see
said
it.
you know the eye situation. Are you saying that the place was too cold?
No, I'm not talking about ice as in cold. I'm talking about immigration.
Or immigration. I gather that can also be very cold, so we have to be very careful. I tell you what, let's take a little short break and some music, and we come back to you right after we talk with you probably for another 5 or 6 minutes. And we talk with
Okay.
Michelle, and she's keeping in touch with Jamaica, and we want to keep in touch with members of the diaspora. Welcome back. You're listening to Spot On with Vernon Derby, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. We're right in the middle of the Caribbean. It's a beautiful country, Jamaica. It's really beautiful. And you know what we say? Yeah, we lick what we tell her. Well, you know that. We're outstanding, whether it's in intellectual field or in sports, entertainment. You know it. Bob Marley country, Usain Bolt country. Yes, we are powerful country. Probably I'll tell you we are first world country when it comes to talent. Oh, welcome back, Michelle Tulloch-Reid from the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, Northeast USA. Well, we only have about another 5 minutes or more. You can probably tell us what is your plan to do, what's coming up, and probably encourage other persons to become a part of your movement because there are quite a number of Jamaicans overseas, and I'm sure that you need more of them to get involved.
Yes. All right. So first and foremost, what's coming up is part two of the conference. And what do I mean by that?
Yes,
We will have forums on immigration, community policing, cancer, and moving from good to great. That has to do with your personality, how your
yes.
mindset. So
Hmm.
we'll have part two on all of those, and each one will take place starting from one in July, one August, September, and October. Because I need you to give yourself a little break. So for the next 4 months, that's what I'll do. I will also invite everyone. We are also planning to have a regional conference in October. More information on that to come. And also,
In
most
Jamaica?
important, no, right here, I think it's going to be online, but it's going to
Yes, yes.
involve myself, Peter Tracy, Shauna, all of us coming together to have another conference in October. So that's something to keep lookout for. And then don't forget we have the big one, the biennial that will be
Mhm.
in Jamaica. So that's something to look forward
Ah, it will be yes, yes.
in 2026. So that's something to look forward to.
Hmm.
I must say, out of this conference, we have encouraged, empowered people to. The idea was like, you have moved to the US. What is it that I can do to make sure you live excellent, you thrive where you now call
Hmm.
home? So that's always at the forefront of my mind. And
Yeah.
when I give them deliverables, but
Hmm.
everybody was saying this was so good that we need to do a repeat. And so, what
Hmm.
I would love to do is buying out just the same way because we don't want to compete with Jamaica's conference. But every other year, we go through the entire Northeast so that we
Yes.
can attract more because a lot of people who came to my conference here in the Northeast has never been to the Jamaica Diaspora Conference in Jamaica. And they are saying, Michelle,
Yes.
I really enjoyed this. No, I
Hmm.
want to go to Jamaica to see what that's about. So we just need to stop at the 14th state and, because we are everywhere, let them know who we are, what we're about, and how they can come alongside us. So that's my plan for the next 4 to 6 months.
And it's very important, because you probably have heard about those Jamaicans who went to Europe. And when they went there, the culture was different. They got a culture shock, of course. And in Jamaica, they're used to bright colors, buildings looking brilliant. And you go to a country where everything is gray and it's snowing. And one psychiatrist said to me that it depressed people. And so, therefore, I think you're doing a wonderful job in terms of letting people, when they come to the United States and they probably suffer from culture shock, you can get them involved and they feel as if Jamaica is right there in the United States.
Yes, absolutely.
You
I
can't
don't know
get
if you,
a patty down the road same way and jerk chicken.
And Mr. Darby, one of the things that I was intentional about is that
Yes.
the conference, there was no registration fee, and breakfast and lunch was also provided. I didn't want that to be a barrier for you not coming. And yes, we had the
What a
jerk
thing.
chicken.
Yes.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I
But
have
I
to say
bet you
thank
never
you.
know roast yam because you can't go roast yam out.
No, no roast yam, no roast yam.
Yes.
But I want
But
to say
I
a
tell you
special thank
something,
you.
what makes
Yes.
us uniquely Jamaican. I'm hoping we
Mm-hmm.
don't. We had something there. Something happened the other day, where a company had a
Mm-hmm.
celebration of how long it's been in Jamaica. And then, the cook are not giving them no free advertisement. They have a particular
Mm-hmm.
type of food that they look after. And then somebody say, that is our national dish. I was not amused at all. Because what it
Mm-mm.
means, if we start to become like North America or the Europe, then
Mm-hmm.
people have no reason to come here. So we need
Mm-hmm.
to keep that Jamaican culture. So where different people want to come here and experience it. Our cultural practices. See how we used to make house first time. Yeah, me go
Mm-hmm.
first time I go for say, let's
Yeah.
do a patois and all them kind of things. And then they
Yes.
say, oh my God, because I understand that the whole world is not trying to speak patois. Can you imagine
Mhm. I know, right?
that? Just amazing.
Yes,
Well, you
it is.
continue to tell us now. We still have another probably 3 more minutes or so.
Okay.
You continue. Well, no, we have more than that. You continue to tell us more about your work and some of your work that you plan to have done to ensure that your
Mm.
organization is in touch here and we are in touch with you.
Yes. It's interesting that you mentioned, I remember you might know of him, Darren Miller. He was here as well giving remarks. And he said,
Yes,
when you have so many Jamaican in one place, you always think something is going to happen. But he said the energy here at the conference
yes,
and the love and people were just greeting each other like they knew each other.
yes.
The connection, everybody was giving them business cards and I was at a meeting last night and people are like, Michelle, from your conference, I have been calling so and so. So it was great for partnership, really great for partnership.
And
And so
networking because
oh my God.
I notice what is happening in the United States. I won't get into details, but certain people they tend to stick together. They have a
Mm-hmm.
thing of saying about us Jamaicans that we coming like crab in a barrel. We are climbing on another tear on one another. A ladder but tell pan crab, you hear, man? What the
Mm-hmm.
crab trying to do? Them trying to form a ladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
But through them backs are slippery. The moment one climb on the other one, they slip back down. So don't tell no
Mm-hmm.
lie pan crab. I try them and try to come out of the barrel, but it's not easy for them. It's not easy for
Mm-hmm.
us too. But if we unite, we can make
Yes.
it. And when you're in a foreign country and certain things common amongst us, let
Mm-hmm.
us unite. Let's build together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe we should melt, mix and melt, but I tell you what, that is not as it's easier said than done. And especially nowadays, I notice
Mm-hmm.
there's a strong thing to identify as this group or that group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Therefore, if you don't watch it, if you don't unite, then Jamaicans will get left behind, or Caribbean people.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
that is my focus.
Mhm.
Constantly uniting us. Let people know about the Jamaica brand because we are the hottest thing right now. It, you
I
know,
know, but what is funny, in some countries, everybody trying to talk like Jamaica.
Yes, yes, that is so
Now talk
true.
like Jamaicans, yes.
Yes,
It's just
and
amazing.
what as I said, one of the good things came out of it is that people are willing to go back to Jamaica to check out the conference. They
Yes.
want to be a part of the economic development. So we just
Mhm.
need to make sure we are creating that space as well, and we cannot leave the young people behind. We had a section on real estate, building wealth, and retirement planning. And as I said, I'm interested in young people. And I need for you to remember this name. His name is Giovanni Bennett, a young gentleman, but he
Yes.
is brilliant.
Mhm.
His life experience caused him to focus on it, and I have been giving him a lot of play. And he was sitting at a table with Nadia Teep. Owen
Mm-hmm.
Eccles from VMBS, Natasha Service, and just having a conversation. And I am
Yes.
so happy I'm creating a space where young people can say, I can be seated at this table. It's not only us older folks. So I wanted to specifically create a space for them. So I did that in the conference as well, and it was
Mm-hmm.
successful. The comment
And I
was,
posted
Michelle,
those
I can't
lovely
believe.
pictures.
Yeah, they
So
would
I
say, Michelle,
shared,
I can't
I
believe I
shared them.
came
So I was telling you,
to share them. I have about 500. So
I hear you. So I shared them across Jamaica, and I must tell you,
yes.
leaders saw them in the business world and also political persons and other
Hmm.
persons. So I did my best to
Hmm.
share it. I hope you
Yeah.
shared it across North
Yeah.
America also.
Yes, I certainly do. Certainly do.
Guess
And
what?
I'm just hearing good
We
reviews.
have half a second left. So your final word before you leave us, Michelle
My
Tulloch-Reid.
final word is most importantly, I give God the glory, and I'm thanking Him for giving me this opportunity to use me for such a time to bring this message and to encourage all people to come alongside us
Mhm.
as we continue to do well in our community and in Jamaica. Moving forward, one Jamaica, one diaspora, one love.
Ah, I know you're going to say one love at the end, you know. One love. One love, my sister. You have a wonderful day and thank you for keeping in touch with Jamaica. Michelle Tulloch-Neil from the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council there in Northeast USA. All right, have a wonderful day. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.